Hi, I'm Alex, and Tosi's there. And we're going to answer question 29 if you don't understand it. So if you really don't understand it, you could just go in a tree somewhere, think about it. Alright, so the question is, you kick a ball at 37 degrees with an initial velocity of 20 meters per second. Will you score a field goal if the goalpost is 3 meters above the ground at 36 meters away? Okay, so that's a little bit complicated, the problem. And so basically, you have to kind of break it down first. And you look for the pieces of information it gives you. So you can see how it gives you the angle, the initial velocity, and the y. Well, we don't really need the y distance necessarily right now, but we will in the future. And the x distance, so the total range. So basically what it's asking for is for you to solve for the y distance and compare it to the 3 meters. Okay, so now if you look at the next slide over in the other tree that you should work in, it says, what are we solving for? So here we drew a diagram of all our information that the problem gave us. So here's the 36 meters because that's where you kick the ball from, and here's where the field goal is. Then it's at 37 degrees, and then it's the initial velocity, and the field goal is 3 meters up. So if by any chance our football team would pay attention to physics, they would score a field goal. So we are trying to calculate if that would be possible. Now Tosi will show us how to do this problem with the math.
So as Alex was explaining before, there's basically 2 parts to this problem. First, we have to fill in our chart. Our initial velocity we put in is 20 meters per second, so to find the initial x velocity, we do 20 cos 27, because 27 is the angle at which we're kicking the ball. Same thing for y, except we're doing 20 sine 27. So you find those calculations. The acceleration on the x-axis is always 0 because there's no forces, no horizontal forces that are affecting the projectile. And the value for gravity is negative 9.8 meters per second squared, so that's always going to be your y acceleration. As we said before, the distance to the actual field goal is 36 meters, and what we're solving for in the entire equation is the y distance, because we want to know how high the football is at 36 meters where the goalpost is. And if it's above 3 meters, when we solve, if this value is above 3 meters, we know that it cleared the field goal and that you've scored. But in order to get there, we need one more piece of this puzzle, because right now we only have these two. We only have these 2 values, but to solve a kinematics equation, you need to have 3 of your 4 values, and the 4th value is the variable you're solving for. So we need to find the hang time, which is the same for both. So once we find the hang time, then we can plug it in and solve for this distance. So in order to do that, we solve for time at 36 meters out. So this is your simple distance equals rate times time equation. So your distance is 36.0 meters, and your v initial, which we solve for here, is 15.972 times t. T is 2.54. So this means that when the ball is 36 meters